13,000 people used to live here, and now it's a ghost town. Deep within the Caribbean, a tiny island nation was forever changed by one of the most catastrophic volcanic eruptions of the 20th century. Montserrat, a British overseas territory, was home to a lush landscape and thriving communities. But on June 25th, 1997, the Soufrière Hills volcano unleashed its fury, spewing ash and pyroclastic flows that buried the island's capital, Plymouth, and surrounding towns under a thick layer of volcanic debris. The once thriving streets were now desolate and still, entombed in a graveyard of ash and rock. The eruption was so powerful that it triggered a massive pyroclastic flow, which traveled at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, incinerating everything in its path. The disaster left 19 people dead, thousands displaced, and the southern half of the island uninhabitable. Today, the abandoned towns of Montserrat remain a haunting testament to the volcano's destructive power. Join us as we explore the tragic tale of Montserrat's volcanic explosion and the eerie landscapes that remain. Now, to even get on the island, we need to take a small airplane because commercial aircrafts don't fly to such a small place. I'm terrified of small planes. They shake, and I've covered abandoned ones in the past that had malfunctions leading to tragic crashes.
Guys, I kid you not, this is insane. It looks like an old World War II plane we're going into right now. It's the year 2025. I'm nervous.
So you have nothing to worry about.
Okay. Feel safe. He's making me feel calm about this. So this is our pilot. He's gonna take us to the Montserrat Island. Look at this little propeller. I never even get to touch a plane or anything. This is so cool. All right, guys. This is absolutely nuts. I can't believe this. Explorers, we are going to an exclusion zone from a volcano that erupted. That's what we're doing. We're gonna be covering all these abandoned neighborhoods and houses, places that has been sitting there since the disaster. Hey, Jordan.
You know, there's a lot of buttons here, and I don't know what any of these are.
Oh my God.
It's going to be on land now.
Okay, everyone, welcome to Montserrat. You'll also be open shortly.
That was cool, though. Man, I had to trust you with my life. I had no choice. You did well. Heck yeah.
Montserrat, get this guy.
Yeah, get this. He's the coolest pilot here, dude. We'll get our stuff in a minute, guys. We got to get to our hotel and then kind of recoup and tell you what's going on.
Okay.
They made the runway on top of the tunnel.
That's cool.
That was really fancy.
That was the thrill. It's so nice here.
It's
like,
beautiful.
This is really nice. You got the chickens, the roosters out and everything.
We've lived here since 1980. Population used to be about 12,500, and with the volcano and everybody having to leave believe it dropped down to 3,000.
Oh, okay.
Now it's not even back up to 5,000.
Wow.
With the majority of the people living here not Montserratians.
All right, but we gotta change that.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah, we gotta
make everyone get over here.
Well, we want it, but still, you know, it's hard to get here, but still, you know, Montserrat's never sold out like the other islands.
I see. I can tell already the vibe here.
And it's genuine. It's a genuine, real island, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what we want the economy to be better. It's not entirely bad having it be difficult to get here. It's expensive to get here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And we should certainly be able to get more than 56 people a day over here. But hopefully we'll get ferry service again. And then
That would be good. Yeah, because when I got here, guys, I actually wanted a boat. I did not want to take that small plane. Now that I took it, the adventure of that felt amazing. So that's the only way here currently right now is that little charter plane.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at our views though. This is so cool. I like the colors here.
Temperature right now.
It is the perfect temp, bro. And so where we're staying right now, where we're going is to Gingerbread Hill, and she runs and owns the hotel. So our first grocery store here is called Victor's. Got a nice mural of the island as well.
It's fancy. This is the only grocery store that has air conditioning and a sliding glass door. It's
Really? On the whole island?
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness. Yeah, it's really.
Guys, I'm just overwhelmed right now. I'm in everyone's way, but this is this island's grocery store, and everything's technically imported, but it could be cool. Dude, we can bake cakes, we can do everything, but again, we're here mostly for the volcano and everything. This is just all behind the scenes stuff. So I ended up getting all these random things from this convenience store in case I get hungry at night or during the adventures. All right, guys, so it turns out their currency is a Caribbean Eastern currency. Never been to the Caribbean, so I didn't even know this currency when I was trying to buy things. Wow, look at this sunset. Guys, so we dropped Steve off. He's down the street, which we'll get to him. We're staying at this place called Gingerbread Hill. I am on this floor. Look at our view. This is more than just exploring some of the coolest abandoned that actually no one has actually been exploring except a few people. So it's like we're some of the first that's going to be doing that. But this is awesome because when do we ever on this channel do this stuff right now? Today, half of the island of Montserrat is an exclusion zone. The volcano is still very much active, giving unrest to those who wish to return to their past lives. We're going to be investigating and going through what's left from the volcano eruption. This island was once so beautiful and once alive, and it still is, but everyone is gone. No one's here anymore. Everyone left. No one's really coming back except to visit. But there are people here, but there's not really new people coming here anymore. I think this video is going to show how beautiful this island is, but also we're here to tell a story on a place that no one has even been to. I mean, items still left exactly where they were when they evacuated. Something that's super rare you don't see often is here. But we're going to be covering so much since then. I've never covered or even been on an island with a volcano that erupted, and we're showing what's left. The idea is we're going to go to sleep now, we're going to wake up, and we have a guide who's going to take us to the exclusion zone. Speaking of the volcano, that's literally it right there. So this is the other half of the island. It never had like villages or towns or nothing. We're on the opposite side, and Richmond and Plymouth would have been around here. That's what we're gonna be doing. But this is the other side. There was never nothing on it. All right, guys, we have a big day tomorrow. I'm going to bed. We're gonna wake up. Let's do this. The guide's gonna be here at 8 in the morning. Let's go. We are thousands of miles out. Like, I just can't get over this. All right, we're about to start. Here we go.
Yeah, well, on the other side, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Why couldn't you drive it? I'm just gonna drive you crazy.
Dude. Yeah, I forget on this island they're driving on the right side. What's your name and what do you do?
What do I do? Wow, I'm a starving musician.
All right, we
Very
love that.
good at that.
Yep.
No, of course, I consider myself somewhat of an ambassador, I suppose, to the island. Most of these certified people that are doing this, of course, they have real life stories their own experiences, their own perceptions of things, and I'm just one perspective. It's important to tell the truth. That's what we do. So I'm a truth teller.
So were you on the island when the volcano erupted by any chance?
Yeah, man. Certainly, it's been quite the adventure growing up around the scientists and having worked, volunteered and doing some part-time work over there, a little bit of full-time with the observatory. It's been something that you would have never seen on the horizon. Like if we had a crystal ball, you still would have probably not. It would have slipped through the cracks. It's like, you mean a volcano is going to start up in Montserrat, the most innocent of places, and swallow up an entire capital town? No, that's not going to happen. Certainly not something that we would have anticipated.
Interesting. So are they nervous, like if they try to rebuild, that another eruption will happen here?
You know, some people don't want to overly invest in an area that could be closed down again. The Scientific Advisory Committee, they release a report every year to pretty much state where our current status is, and they still consider the volcano restless. Those are the words that they use. And so you could invest in areas like in Zone C of Cork Hill, Foxes Bay, other areas, Richmond Hill, but then it could be for naught, and we're just not sure, and we can't see the future well enough. But they have developed instrumentation and monitoring techniques here in Montserrat. They're used all around the world, and it's very good for science. It's a very small volcano compared to many volcanoes in the world, but big enough for such a small island.
Right.
So, but the one good thing that they've done here, the observatory staff, from the beginning, is keep people safe, and they've done a fantastic job of that. And that's what they're going to do with us today.
That's awesome. So they're going to know when we're in the exclusion zone, and they're going to monitor the volcano to make just in case, right?
And any troubles, we get out of Dodge.
We get it. Yep.
And sometimes you have to do that, and it's all for good reasons. We don't play games.
Yeah. So have you ever been at the exclusion zone? They're like, okay, you have to get out early just in case of like anything.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
so they're monitoring it.
If you have a volcanotectonic subsidence or some kind of swarm, earthquake swarm, absolutely. So
interesting.
But you know, they're going to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, and that's normal.
Yeah, the scientists will always give their best opinion on the matter.
Judgment.
And judgment. That's a better word.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then the government might go a step beyond that to be on the safe side. They don't want any liability issues or anything.
Right. And that's the thing. I've seen on TV in other islands when volcanoes happen, the eruption, and how scared people were and how they're running for their lives.
Right.
It is like super, super scary. So like it's good that everyone is being safe and everything, because I would not want to be in that at all. At all.
Yeah.
And
The interesting thing about Montserrat's situation is that it happened over a period of time, and people kind of got, for some it was like a moth to a flame. Like my father was always very seduced by the mountain, getting all those good images. So he's either brave or stupid, right? Right, Dad? Anyway, and we're gonna go through zones B soon enough, and zone C, and then a leap to the letter V. The zones are set up not just because of proximity, the letters, to the volcano, but also because of elevation, and lower elevations are considered more dangerous because of the gravity-driven pyroclastic flows, which is the type of flows we have on Montserrat. So our flows move like 100 miles an hour. So, not having certain types of computer models, because the observatory didn't even exist until after 95.
Imagine a deadly, fast-moving cloud of hot ash, gas, and rock that can level everything in its path. This is a pyroclastic flow, one of the most destructive forces in nature. Pyroclastic flows are born from volcanic eruptions, when magma explodes into the air, shattering into tiny fragments that mix with hot gases. As this deadly ash hurtles down the volcano slopes, it can reach speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, incinerating everything in its path. Pyroclastic flows can occur with little to no warning. They can be triggered by a sudden eruption, a collapse of the volcanic dome, or even a subtle shift in the volcano's activity.
So guys, right now we're in a place called Pompeii. And what he says, the water used to be all over here. None of this was lands. But when the volcano erupted and it brought everything here, and with the rain and everything, it pretty much developed new land.
So he's walking on the old pier right there. We used to jump off as children, and it seemed like a long way to swim to the shore. And look where the shoreline is now.
Way down there.
Way down there.
Dang. So since that disaster, it brought this whole land here that you can now build on and do whatever you want, really. It's just kind of crazy how that happened.
But we want to talk about how old Montserrat was, because it's only when you know how Montserrat was previous to 95 that you realize how much we're missing and how much we could be. But a lot of people that are new to the island are they're blessed by a blessed island like Montserrat, this version. But without having known what it was like before, they don't know how good it was. So,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
it was quite the island. It's the best place to grow up on.
Dang.
You can ask my brother.
It's so crazy because we're going to see whatever this is going to look like now, and you remember it from back then as this amazing place.
It was the best. Blowing usually to the west.
What's that, haze?
Yeah, that's sulfur dioxide. That's one of the gases. Of course, there's steam rising below the cloud cover, and it has its own kind of atmosphere up there. But the pyroclastic flow in 2010, because we've had many events over a long period of time, a 2010 event couldn't make that last bend. So you see that ridge coming from the left side, and you see a ridge kind of hiding behind this bush on the right there, where they kind of intertwine. That's where the 2010 event stopped. Couldn't make that last corner, and of course they evacuated this area for a short time. But from an entirely different angle, down there was a beautiful golf course, and it used to look like this. And we're going to drive on material above the height of these trees.
Guys, look, in the distance you can see the volcano. It looks like we're going right up to it. So technically this whole thing was a golf course right here.
Yes. You see ahead of us,
Yep.
looks a little bit like nothing, but what it should be, what you should see, and it's still there, very, very well built, is this entire bridge. That bridge is under that rubble to the right side, under that stake there.
Oh.
And these buildings, Woodsville condominiums, are still up there behind vegetation that's grown over them. And we're like here, but higher than these
I
posts.
can't even recognize it right now.
Yeah, so
where we are.
we're sitting like over here, but we're higher. And we're
Right.
going to drive to the left of where that bridge was.
Now entering Zone C. We started at A, went to B, and now we're at C. So Zone C, the roof of the house is all you see left. Wait, that was a bar?
Well, a little bit of Guinness was had there, right, over the years.
Yeah, so he said there was a primary school, a gym, or tennis courts or something. Oh, a bunch of things. Basketball court.
And a clinic, medical.
Tons of stuff lost in nature now. Remember, back then, this was just all lawns, driveways, and it's just completely gone now. Look at all the trees that grown since, though. You wouldn't have even known. Yeah, you can't even. You know how much spiders are in there? That's the church? Dude, too bad we couldn't show that one off.
It's a bit hard to get into because of all the thorns,
Yeah.
but it's there.
Wait, so this was the geothermal?
It was a testing point that Iceland, the drilling company, came and did a couple of them, and they to see whether it was viable for electricity purposes.
But that's interesting, geothermal. So what did they find? They find they could be able to do
Into a
it?
sulfur vein. It can be done, but investment has to be made. We could invite like green companies here. We could have low cost electricity. We could be a very wealthy nation again.
So what exactly
Montserrat
is
could go
geothermal?
good.
Is
Yeah.
that just getting power from the heat of like the
Yes,
volcano?
absolutely. Well, there's hot pockets. There's all around. This whole island is volcanic, really.
Yeah.
But of course, the geothermal is pretty much everywhere. But this particular spot is really good.
This
That's my school over there, by the way.
Is it abandoned?
Pretty much. Well, they use it for some gardening, but it's been kind of repurposed. But most everyone my friends from school have left. I
Wow.
married someone from Michigan.
School like
Quite an ironic twist, right?
like high
Yeah.
school or
Yeah, secondary school. Yep. This is the original road to Plymouth would be right here.
This?
Yes, and it's disappeared, and there's an auxiliary road to get around that.
Where's the road?
Yeah, so we're gonna pick it up soon, but it's definitely been damaged by activity. But we're gonna go there very soon, in about 15 minutes time.
So
So to get inside Plymouth, we need not only permission, but a guard to let us in.
We have to, they want to ensure that the same souls that went in, log you in, those same souls come out.
Oh,
Wow. And that's just for everyone's safety.
Basically protecting
Absolutely.
us.
And so why is Plymouth considered an exclusion zone, but even what we just went through now ain't?
It's the elevation that really alters the perception. So, for instance, this is Richmond Hill we're going to go to, and Richmond Hill sits elevated above Plymouth.
Okay.
And it's out of, generally out of the way of a pyroclastic flow material, which is gravity driven a lot of the time.
Okay.
So I
that's
mean,
changed.
it's not that they couldn't close this sometime, but based on the current activity, they feel safe enough to leave this open. So
Interesting. So with Richmond Hill, do you think they plan on bringing Richmond back one day?
You know, there are already people trying to experiment in Richmond and in Fox's Bay. People want to move back. It's just a matter of whether it's worth
The risk of the
risk of
Yeah.
investment.
So pretty much, I'd say once the government says, "Hey, this volcano is now rested," I'm sure people will be here flocking to try to
You
fix
know,
it, right?
Montserratians want to come home. It's just a matter of having the wherewithal to do so.
Yep. Right now, we just stopped here in Richmond to go to a condominium where, you know, even our guide himself, been in here before, and he's going to talk to us about it. But look at this, just walking in. What is that, thorns?
Really different though.
What are they? They hurt?
I know they hurt. Yeah, there's like thorns on them.
No pain, no gain.
Yep. Yeah, Steve, no pain, no game. Again, all this is happening and destroyed from just simply the eruption. The earthquakes, look at all that. It's like, this looked like, oh, it was white and some of it was pinkish. I don't know. Oh no, yeah, the pink and red stairs.
Look at the view though.
Holy crap, bro.
That is so amazing. Complete view of the volcano too, right in front of you.
You look inside, you can see the kitchen.
I like how tall everything is.
For real.
We had people writing their names on here on the dusty sliding door.
Dang, bro. Look at the back, though. It's still preserved in some way. Look at the chairs.
You got the furniture and the table right there.
Oh, I didn't even see that, bro. Yeah.
This massive.
This is so cool. Still got the beds, too. Look at that. Yeah, so guys, as we're exploring, you can just smell the sulfur in the air still, just breezing through from the volcano, just so you know. But what's really cool is how the ceiling fan, in my opinion, is just still there. See, here, there's no snow. You know what I mean? So it's like the snow doesn't really cause too much damage to the houses because there is no snow. Everything is still preserved. Ash can somewhat preserve buildings and things too. I mean, this was, you know, some guy's closet with the coat hanger still on it. You know, I think that stuff is what's really cool when I go inside houses. Look at this. From the mud and different things in the rain, just thick onto the shelves. Now explorers, remember, this is the part of the video that we're going to be doing alone with Steve, and we're going to be going through all of Richmond by ourselves, through all the buildings.
Put them down again.
No, you're
There's no trucks coming.
Yeah, so
So you can control that.
we're closing the windows because the ash is going to lift up in the air, and it gets thick. Logging us in, and she's going to log us out, so she's with the government tied. He's giving her the paperwork. She even gave him a walkie.
If they had like 10 or 6 or 7 or 8, whatever he was saying, eruptions, it's like at any point in time, the government's still doing all
This
this
is what we need. Look at all that
rules and
dust.
work.
Sierra Lima, go ahead.
Yes, sir. We have 3 souls in the zone V, please. Vehicle Romeo 3708. 3 souls.
Okay, go ahead. Ambulance standing by.
Nice.
Thanks much. Sierra Lima standing by.
So look at this sign. It says warning zone V. Enter beyond this point is strictly prohibited. So we've pretty much just entered the exclusion zone right now. So what, this was a school?
Was. Yeah.
Was a school, right.
The original road, Church Road, is really to our right, but we've kind of cut the corner using the path that the trucks have forged for their sand mining opportunities here. And,
Oh yeah, it says Block A on it. So this is all ash on the road, what we're going through?
Right, we're in line with Church
Wow,
Road,
look
which is
at-
like
dude.
the A1 road right just underneath us.
It's like a bakery.
Yeah, look at that. It says
White House.
a
These
bakery
two
right
businesses
there.
have actually successfully moved to braids, starting all over from scratch.
Oh, that's on the island, yeah?
Yeah.
Dang, look at that one. Look at this though, it's nothing now. It's just almost empty. And if there were houses, it's hard to see them somewhere because we're so overgrown.
I just want to show you. You see to the left there, you see that wall that's very hard to see, that kind of block wall right there?
Actually, I see it.
Yeah, that's what's left of the cinema building, the only movie theater, and all these to show there were westerns and kung fu movies.
Kung Fu
Of course,
movies?
the entertainment was trying kung fu each other afterwards, right? So that was the good old days.
That's cool.
That's
That was
nuts.
their main features, were westerns and kung fu.
Like Bruce Lee films.
It was right here. You don't even
You
know.
probably can't see much of it.
This is also why I like guides and locals, because they know. You know, we'll come here and we'll know the history, but we won't know the gritty details. To get deeper, would you say there's like legit whole houses under us and on the ground that we just can't see no more?
We're on the shoreline now. So to our left, that would be the case. Not as many residential areas. That's called the Molyneux Building. It's 5 stories actually.
Wow.
And but it was more of a commercial business oriented area more than residential.
Right.
Yeah, but definitely buildings more than homes. All to our left side.
And like he said, this was the shoreline at one point, so all this is new land.
Exactly.
All of that is new land. Wait, so that's the post office before?
It was right here.
So that was supposed to be on our left, right there.
Guys, if you are new here, guys, listen, first off, it costs a lot of money to explore these places, especially this one. We're giving you guys brand new, authentic, brand new, fresh content on the entire internet that no one's uploaded. Please, if you want to check out my Discord or my Patreon or any of that and want to donate or even check out the merch right now that I'm wearing, check out link in description down below. All the donations go right back into the flights, the hotels, and everything it costs to even make these videos. It would mean a lot to me. Let's get back to the show.
So this was literally right here. You can't, there's nothing now.
Park beside it, yeah.
Do you think some of those buildings they're all like under?
Intact, yeah. Some of them are, yeah.
So these are all buried mostly.
Guys, so where my finger is where we are. And under us is all those buildings. You look at the photos, you see that. And then this is what's left. Under us are those still. All that ash and volcano, whatever, lava, just swarmed over here, filled it up. The landslides, the rain, everything pushed it all over here, causing to what it is right now. If we go up on these little rocks, I mean, you can't see anything left except whatever's sticking out right there. You know? That's insane.
You really can't see except maybe a drone work.
Where is the governor's home now?
It's like directly where the shoreline, where the old cliffside over the shore used to be, over
Oh,
there.
just somewhere down
Maybe it's
there?
down there. It's really hard to see.
Can we take a picture like that?
You probably couldn't see it with all the vegetation. You have to
Oh my
get some
God.
elevation now. But this is something that is really quite remarkable. This is taken from an entirely different angle, from the north face. Well, not quite the north, but very close to it. More on the east. You'll see that this area is open shaped. We didn't realize that these were crater rims, and there was an entirely new mountain that would grow in the center.
The people of Plymouth thought the flat land below the Soufrière Hills volcano was a great place to build their city. They thought it was far enough away from the volcano to be safe. Back then, people didn't know as much about volcanoes. They also didn't realize that the volcano's past eruptions had made the soil around them so fertile. The rich land seemed like a blessing, but it was actually a sign of the volcano's hidden danger. The people of Plymouth had built their city on volcanic ash, and they didn't know what was coming.
This was a 4-story building, and look at it, it's half gone.
Oh, dude, you can see it, bro, underneath.
4-story building.
You want to see that?
Yeah, I want to see that. Let's step out, bro.
So we're just gonna, you're gonna control the
Yeah, look at this. We just have to show you this stuff. This is what I was talking about, how the buildings underneath are gone. This is a 5-story building. Look what you can see. You know, you can look underneath. It's there. I bet you if you can get in there and go underneath, you can still go down and explore it. I mean, that's totally dangerous. I'm just saying. It's probably possible. So with our guide, there's only certain things we can do that's safe and go in certain ones that are safe. This is not one we're allowed to go into. But we're gonna go through. Look at this. Holy crap. Look at in here. Look underneath. Oh my God, I've never seen stuff like this. This is the 4th floor. The 4th floor. It's so crazy how it looks too. And I'm not gonna go in, but look at that. That's a ceiling fan. A wing of a ceiling fan. Think about this, guys. This is the top floor. You would stand on here and just look out. But the volcanic ash and everything, we're literally leveled up to the building now. You would look out and just see the beautiful ocean right from here. Restaurant, and right in front of me is the library. Can't go too far in, but we can look right as close as we can here. I like the windows in the arch. Look at that. Very windy, like I said. Look at that. I'm fascinated by the idea of how it got taken over. That's what fascinates me. I mean, look underneath. Got like that blue color brick. You can kind of tell it was like a great library. I mean, we're literally standing over a roof of a building with not a ladder, just volcanic ash. This is really surreal. I've done a lot of places, but it's nothing like this one. All you hear is the sound of the stomps from the ash, all turned to like sand and dust and rocks. On a street that was once full of life and alive with traffic. Was here, a hotel was down this street, and it's like a nightmare happened, which it did. Very surreal. You can talk to the locals here, and some of them will get emotional when they talk about their stories and their life, because it's not so long ago, and most of them obviously have moved on and accepted it, but some of them are still like, well, I remember when I was 20 years old here or whatever, and it's so weird now, and you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, strange.
With fewer and fewer jobs, no place to move to, uncertainty about the educational system, and a very sluggish economy, most people had no choice but to move off island.
Yeah, there's only so much we can kind of do here in terms of seeing things, just because of, well, our guide and the laws we're following, and I mean, we could fall in and go straight down under there, and you just don't know because we're so high up and there could be holes. It's good to play safe and, learn about this in ways that we wouldn't without a guide. It's like there's pros and cons. If we didn't have this guide, we wouldn't have been able to see and learn about it in this way. But if we were by ourselves, we could have ran through and stuff and did stuff. But obviously in the cruising zone, it's not like you're a stalker in Chernobyl. You can sneak in Chernobyl. I mean, this place is guarded pretty dang well, and you can't even park your car and walk here half the time. It's hard. This is tough. I gotta ask you, what is this building?
The Flora Fountain Hotel was known for being like having an open roof atrium, and this is where the second story was. It had a little restaurant, and it's quite good. A lot of people like to come here for business meetings as well. And beyond that was in the atrium a fountain they lit up at night.
Wow.
That's why it's called the Flora Fountain Hotel. Right in the center of the atrium was that fountain.
But we're gonna take a loop around and just look at it. Oh, these were some of the rooms. I wouldn't have even known this would have been a hotel if it wasn't for our guide. These are the rooms you can peek out and just look out at your view. You know, this was probably the water facing route. So you would have looked out and seen the water right there. That's cool. And like he said, down here was a restaurant and they had a fountain. Look at that. Now it's completely taken over. And you can look though, if you can see, you got these little fancy lights on the walls. This one still has its whole AC unit in. And this one's caved in. Oh my God, that's the bathroom. You can see the freaking toilet. And guys, this is what it looks like underneath us. What we're looking at right here is an exact thing of what it looks like underneath us from all the other buildings. Just completely kicked in and just flowed with the mud and the rocks and the salts and everything. The magma, the ash. You can now see inside one of the buildings without having to do too much. But it was one big room. And the layout is actually interesting. Because the layout, not only does it go around in a circle, but you can see it had just one big room. But really cool how they built this. And this looks like an upstairs part. Could have been for like a bar or something up there maybe. And that's pretty much it. Obviously we're surrounded by other buildings here though.
Get a sense of the heat. You look at the aluminum. Look at those. Look at that metal up there on the roof.
Wow. So that's all from the heat, like it melted the steel.
Exactly.
Completely. What is that? Is that glass from magma?
It's just glass that has been heated up enough
to bend.
To alter, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. And it's cool because the grocery store was right here, right next to the hotel. Who would have thought?
Warehouse, but that's the actual grocery store attached. Watch these thorns, of course. We can't go in this building, but you can get a sense of it.
Yeah. Oh my God, the carriages or trolleys, whatever country you're in.
Yeah. Baby food to the left.
Oh, dude, for real. Oh. Wow, no way. Yeah, so far this is the most preserved office. Probably managed all the payments and stuff for the grocery store. I see over there it says DC Wines, bacon, a bunch of different things. I'm looking at Heineken down there. That's really cool. All their paperwork are still here, guys.
So basically, you would have had to go up steps from the road, up steps to get to this doorway for the Grand Supermarket. And now we're quite above it now. I believe it was like a Heineken advert right here in this circle. It might have been Carob, I can't remember. Of course, it'd be Guinness or one of those.
Either way, you remember that it was a beer advertisement right there. It's pretty cool.
And then, of course, this was a Toyota car dealership.
Right here.
This bar, yeah, just between these two buildings here. And, of course, this would have led up to the University Center, the Harmony House, and the old hospital.
It's nuts, bro.
Glendon Hospital.
So
you really can't traverse anymore.
What's this thing? Is that a villa or?
There's some apartments and a bar.
Now we're getting deep inside here, though, looking around both sides, surrounded by once was Plymouth, or still is the county, some like to call it. See what these buildings look like. Look at that. No damage at all from this building. It's really cool. What is that?
What kind of trees are growing on the roof now, man?
It's a whole tree on the roof, bro.
Montserrat tattoo?
What does that do?
Well, we used to see how many we get on each other, but It doesn't cost as much, and it doesn't hurt as much either.
Yeah, I'll get one. I gotta do one.
All right.
Wait, what are you doing over there with that plant?
Man, you know what?
It's a Montserrat tattoo.
The ice cream parlor.
Here, slap it on, bro.
All right, let's
Yep.
do it. Here we go.
Yep.
What is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you
It's
can
gonna
get
look
like
really good on you.
you can get like a
Yep.
plant tattoo.
Yeah. See, I'm not that much dark skin, so it doesn't pop up.
Blends into your arm.
Oh, come on. That's still. I can still
Come
see
on,
it.
it's
Yeah.
pretty
His pops though.
All right, you want to abuse your friend, or you want me to?
Now you do it.
Okay. A little bit of abuse right
Not
there.
bad. Whoa, that's a
Dang.
good one. That is bright.
We're a tribe now. Look at that.
From a plant.
This is the coolest part, bro. Look at that. A circle through it. I like the circle.
You like circles, huh?
It just looks sick, dude. Well, this is what I really like to see is when you could see like, you know, murals or signs still left of the buildings, and you can see these clearly. Angelo's. Look at this. This is what we seen earlier coming here. We're heading to like a church and something down there. Really old church here in Plymouth.
There's an addition added that's from the 20th century, but the first bit is from the 1630s.
1630s.
This has been here since the 1630s.
Yeah, so you can take a
Little
good shots here,
gander.
probably.
The old church. Built so long ago, where you got the church bell just lingering right there. Fallen off, barely hanging on to life. This date says 1930, but it dates even more back because this date is just the addition for here. But the rest of it dates way long ago. Also is that at the front of this place, right under here, are actual gravestones as well. But it's just got taken over by the volcanic ash. I just noticed that bell from all the years making that green tint, it dripped onto the building. Oh yeah, this was a cemetery. Behind the... Yeah, look. You can see the graveyard cemetery stone sticking out right there. That's really spooky, actually. Look at that. You can see the gravestone there. Some of them right there. Overtaken by the volcanic ash and dirt and everything. But so they're still sticking out. That is the Plymouth experience. We are getting out of here now. This is what's left of it. Imagine if we came here 20 years ago, we would be exploring it for days. This is just literally what's left. It's not like there's something missing or not. No, we've seen everything. And by the drone shots you've seen, this is it. Absolutely, this is it. So it's great that we got to come through just to even see what we can. Because any 5 years from now, maybe there's nothing left.
Thanks much. Sincerely, Mo.
And she just waits for us? That's her job? Well,
my appointment, yeah. It's not like she's waiting here all day long.
yeah, she just has to kind of like mark
I
things.
didn't tell her we'd be here for an extended period, so she was
Nice.
kind of heads up.
We're heading somewhere deep in here. I don't know where we are. Where are we going now?
Richmond Hill was quite the area. Beautiful landscapes, beautiful homes, quick access to Plymouth.
Yeah.
And Richmond Hill was a very beautiful place to live in. And you might have heard that some people called it Rich Man Hill. Rich Man Hill.
Rich man, I get it.
Yeah. But of course, not everyone was rich here, but it was, you know, a little posh here and there and some affluence, of course. Yeah.
The hotel?
You can see it still.
A little bit of it. You can just see Montserrat.
And I see a lot of ash accumulation all around. The rain has rinsed the ash off this driveway right into the hotel.
Whoa.
Reception area on our left.
Jeez. Reception area on our left.
And the gift shop.
Oh, you can see it.
You like
the desk.
Yeah, you like pina coladas, right?
I do.
You should see if there's they're serving. Place. And you can see that the hot baths were their main attraction. You see the logo right here on their fascia board. And that was near their tennis courts, a little bar down by the beach area.
Mm-hmm.
And you can step inside and see what kind of food they have on the menu today.
Going through right now, guys. Going down the steps. Great sign would have been right here.
Walking right in now, and this is what it looks like. But the fact that you can still see the reception desk with like the room keys in the back with the numbers on it is still really cool. Wow. I love the natural sunlight. And again, with the ceiling fans, giving it that ancient feel. You can even go upstairs. We're really in the jungle, though. I love that. Look at that glass. I wonder why it was purple. I like it, though. This could have been maybe, I don't know. Dang, what would have this been? The lunch area, the sitting area. Back there, I think, is the water. I love this. Everything's covered. I'm just trying to be careful at the same time, because there could be little like cavities where you can like literally fall through the ground. And just so you can see here, before like the mudslides and all the crazy things happen, this was the tiles. Tile floors. Yeah. Oh, I think this was a pool, I think, guys. I literally think right here was a pool. I'm almost not. Actually, you would walk through here. This was a whole pool. Got beautiful flowers. Looking out. Come on. Come on. This is why we came out here. Look down there. It's a private little beach. And if you look way over there with the wind, that, my friends, is the church we were just at. So our guy said that this was the bar, and right here was an actual buffet. The entrance coming in that we actually just drove into. Remember, we were like, oh, I see the sign. The sign was right where that was. Oh, that's funny because I said it was a pool, but I didn't know it was gonna be that cool of a pool. Look at that. This is why I love traveling also with like guides, because I would have never been able to like do this. Boom. Look at that, the pool stairs, and explorers, check this out. So we get the pool stairs here. Now we're at another angle. This was the same area right here as this. Look at that. Same area, just right there. I want to know what they were serving. We can go just into detail. Serving the finest desserts for your vacation. So this is now bringing us to the actual hotel rooms. There's a top floor and bottom floor. A lot bigger than the ones we were seeing earlier in that like tire spot. But again, these are way more luxury. This is massive. You can see the bed would have been right there. A lot of space. One coat hanger at least. They had a whole tub. And they're not gonna get much of a view here anymore, because you can't see anything. Most likely be all the same. Not too much left, which you shouldn't be surprised, right? And I think I'm still going into hotels. I just keep wandering. Yeah, these are more hotels. There was a lot of rooms here. Look at this. Room 208. You got the flowers design next to it. But yeah, they're all the same. No furniture, no mattress, no paintings. That's it. Whoa. We're just going through the bottom floors, but once again, well, room 107, but nothing is left inside any of them. We'll go inside one more. We'll go inside just this one. They're all the same. Oh, this one has a bed. Wow, you know what's crazy, bro?
all the sand and everything's inside. Like packed in. What is this? A hairdryer? Yeah, I never seen the whole different kind of. Never seen one like that. Almost looks like a microphone to me, bro. Little microphone talk right there. Look at this, and this is a good way. All right, this is how we can show you this. It's halfway up to the door. It's literally up to the pretty much door handle. This is what we're trucking through. I mean, at this point, this door can probably just get like pushed open. Oh, you know what's even interesting? Okay, I like this. So this is actually so far the first room with no sand because this door held up. This door stopped all the sand and water from pouring in. Look at, there's like no sand in here. You can see the floor. Definitely the most preserved room we've seen in the whole hotel so far. So our friend is educating us. What is all this that we're stepping on?
This is ash.
Still ash. I kept saying dirt.
Yeah, it's ash fall from what goes up comes down. What doesn't hit the stratosphere. Sometimes it's blanketed the entire island. It took a year at one point to clean up the island after one of these. And we've sent, ash to St. Kitts and Nevis and other nearby islands, depending on the wind direction, and even shut down air traffic in the region because of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's thick. Imagine this in your lungs. I mean, imagine this guy, how much lungs of ash. Ash is filled in his lungs from all the tours.
I'm made of silica.
He is. He's magma now. Guys, whoa, just went inside of another room. Look at this. 1996 budget and schedule of estimate capital. Montserrat Springs right on the sign. Action plan rooms. Pretty much this is just to like plan like how they're going to go throughout their day to promote. This is also really cool. This is another place. This is in Florida. They're advertising something here in Florida. And if you go a little up ahead right here, just right here, look at that. All the ash came right inside here. This is the Montserrat Spring Hotels, and this is the projections and the room stuff. Rooms available, 1,400 rooms in January. It shows all the dates, how much ad revenue and money they're making. Not ad revenue they're making or could make. The Caribbean calendar and marketing activities. The hotel advantages and disadvantages. Overlooking the Emerald Island Beach, the capital town of Plymouth. One meeting room will accommodate 50 people. They have a full service restaurant, bar and grill, pool. All the stuff they're saying. The Montserrat Spa and Tennis Court Club. And this is like the disadvantages. Property looks dated. Proximity to the town. No air conditioning was at this hotel. That's enough right there, huh? Minimal sales and marketing. The advantages, though, they had a dive shop and good reputation and a golf course. It's just like the whole like back rooms and all the planning that happened here. What, the workers see and what, I love that. Look at this one. Montserrat, the way the Caribbean used to be. If you want to see this, I'll take a picture, screenshot it, pause the video. You can read that if you want. So remember on our way back, I said I wanted to stop at a few things. This was one of them. This was one of the local churches before we get into Richmond and we were driving on the road. I think we're in Zone C. I really wanted to stop in this church really quick. Little village church, in my opinion. Even has the whole welcome sign. And look at now. Don't know if you guys can see, but you will. Boop. This is what it looks like now. Apparently a lot of bats live in here, and I can hear them. But this is strange. All the church chairs are kicked in and tipped over. It's a whole city, technically, really abandoned. Oh, look at the sunglass, the stained glass right there with the church across. Wow. Stop here at Hilltop Coffee House that has a lot more to it, and we're gonna go over the whole story.
Joseph Sturge was a guy, he was a pretty decent character. He was better than some of the other guys anyway.
Joseph Sturge?
Yes, he was a Quaker and an Englishman, and he started the lime industry here. Produced lime juice as well. You can see some of those old adverts. And he was, as a Quaker and an Englishman, against slavery and alcohol. And we actually looked over Joseph Sturge, his park. It's called Sturge Park, named after him, just below Richmond Hill there, that kind of field. And you can see some of the effects of the volcano here, and very lightweight pumice material that's hiding. And these are just some relics from the past. We used to have a bottling company called the Pop Shop right there, but we don't have that anymore. So we rely on Sinclair to still provide us bottled drinks, but we don't have a bottling company anymore. Of course, this is where we were, and of course, from the past, this looks totally different today, unfortunately.
Yeah, guys, I want to go over every single picture here. This is insane.
You can't find anymore. You see a lot of the green colors along the edges. These are the natural colors, but green definitely is more of that because of being in the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean. And this is the couple. There's a film named Fire of Love that's about these guys, Maurice and Katya Kraft, that died in the Unzen eruption. And my dad just picked up the torch and did filming that they would have done had they not died in Japan. The top scientists in their field perished in the Unzen eruption in the early 90s. But they were, they're quite the couple. She was a photographer. He was a videographer.
Here?
In Japan.
Oh, in Japan.
Fire of Love is the name of the film. It's about their life. And my dad just met their parents and picked up the torch from them. Or they would have been covering it and would have had all the footage had they not died. But my dad has that footage instead.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Carry on the legacy.
So here's of course, the old map. This is where we spent time. I want to take you on that side also. But you'll see we're growing. We're larger now on all these edges. And you can see the 3 mountain complexes there.
So where was the capital? Right here.
That's it.
So we explored right here in Plymouth.
Mm-hmm. What we could access.
Well, yeah, what we could do. And then we were in Richmond Hill.
That's it.
Fox's Bay is right there. And these are the sides that are still abandoned and kind of, left. Now we traveled all the way from down there, all the way up here, where we're at this restaurant right now. And then later he's going to be taking us through this side.
And this is how the way the Caribbean used to be. That's our old motto.
So Volcano literally, I wouldn't say ruined, but kind of took out everything.
Transformed, yeah.
Yeah, transformed. I like that. This is where we just were, and I think it's really important to show you guys. All right, so each image. One. Look at this. We were pretty much over it. Dude, we were standing here. That would be like almost where the rock was, almost, that we kind of went on.
Yeah, when we were there at the very beginning.
Yeah, the very beginning. The rock we kind of stood up on, though. You can't even tell. And look at this area.
Wow.
How is that possible?
And that's just from the ashfall.
And pyroclastic flows, and then the rain picking up the material and remobilizing it on these upper flanks, continuing to kind of remove it.
Pyroclastic flow, okay.
And mud flows and lahars, yes.
Okay.
So we drove right past this. Well, we drove past this on Church Road, and it's buried to about that point.
See,
So you would have recognized that where you were walking down the road there.
So my thing is, how come it's still flowing up more? Why is it keeps burying?
It's just that you have, up here you see the grades of the flows. It's very steep, and so the rain is able to, where vegetation hasn't solidified and stabilized the area, it's able to still move again, and it moves down the flanks of the mountain, and it just keeps layering.
Wow.
Flows.
These people all recorded at Air Studio?
Yes.
Oh my God, there's so many. All big timers too. Even Jimmy Buffett.
So yeah, he wrote that whole song about the other volcano that we thought was our volcano. Of course, that's not what caused all the trouble this time around.
This is nuts.
Eric went ahead and built his drug and rehabilitation center in Antigua.
Think this video is about to be over. It's not. So like they said and like we said, a lot of people have been to this place called the Air Studios. This is a very famous place here, or was famous in Montserrat. This Air Studios was a recording studios that's still there today. We're gonna go there. Not in this video, but probably in next week's. So stick around. There's a lot to come. These are the exact same tables used and were in the Air Studios. Preserved, and they kept them and put them in here. That's legendary. I like this. Are these pictures from Air Studio?
Yeah, you can see.
That's Jimmy Buffett at Air Studio.
A lot of fun stuff, personal moments.
Jimmy Buffett, we got Sting.
Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney did Ebony and Ivory here.
There's some bands I'm not familiar with.
Elton
If you
John.
happen to know one of them, leave a comment down below. Elton John.
Oh yeah, our boy Elton John right here, bro.
Elton John.
Right here in Montserrat, recorded at Air Studios. So pretty much.
Stevie Wonder was here.
Yeah, we'll just say that Air Studios goes hard. Air Studios sign. At least they kept their stuff. And it's legendary things, so it's nice they keep.
Yeah, so Sir George he blessed this place before he passed away as a tribute to Air Studios, because you can't really go to Air Studios now. It's just a dilapidated building.
Yeah.
It's you might have seen pictures of it, but it's just falling apart.
Montserrat had a bank robbery. So during a volcano eruption, people were robbing a bank in Montserrat.
Well, you know, it's a very innocent crime, I have to tell you. I mean, it made sense to them. It's about equivalent of 300,000 US dollars. But had it been money that was put in circulation, they might have gotten away with it.
Let's do this again.
And by the way, you got to introduce this guy, right?
Yeah, let's do it. We got to get him in.
Oh, ginger beer. Yeah, the color's there. There we go.
So yeah, you just asked for a ginger beer, but like, what is that?
Well, you know, Sinclair, this man likes to hook me up with the best of
Right.
local
Well,
drinks.
this is it's a local made juice, basically. They're made out of the natural herbs, made flowers, and plants, and it's popular. So we've got sorrel. You may have seen it, a deep red colour, sorrel, very tasty. We've got ginger beer, then we've got passion fruit, and then there's golden apple.
Do you mix it all in one, or?
I don't do it. Unfortunately, we buy this, but we're gonna have to learn.
No, let's try. Let's try whatever.
Try it? Yeah.
I want to try a ginger beer.
Yeah, it sells well.
Before we leave, we're gonna try some of their local dishes, and one of them was what is it? Goat water.
Goat water.
So why goat water? Why the water part though? Why not goat stew or something?
Made of goat?
Yes.
It's made of goat?
Yeah, of course it's made
Like
of goat.
the flesh or like
Yes.
a liquid part of a goat?
The goat. if they haven't got a goat, there's no goat water.
Alright.
And that happens sometimes. There's a shortage of goats. You wouldn't believe it because you see them wandering everywhere, but somebody owns them. Wherever you see them wandering, somebody owns them.
That's awesome.
Is it like a smoothie then? If there's, like,
No, the guy down there, John makes it, so it's a delicacy. It's a refined taste, an acquired taste.
I'm gonna try it. You like it?
I did when I came here, but then I turned vegetarian.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Let me give you a taste of this. Which one? Sorrel or both?
I would try both, bro. I want
Let's
to.
give you a taster.
Yep. That's all I really need generally.
Spicy drink will knock the COVID-19
right
out of
alcohol in
you.
it?
Really?
Yeah,
So
why
it's
not?
it's
Wait, is
it's
there alcohol
juice
in there?
ginger?
No.
Oh, okay,
It
yeah.
adds,
No.
10 years to
I
your
don't really
life.
drink, so.
Wow, this
No,
is
that's
great.
Spicy, huh?
Yeah. You're in.
So right off the bat, guys, this is a pure ginger. It's almost like
Yeah.
juice. This is juiced, right? The ginger is definitely
more or less.
Yeah, this
more or less.
it's like
You take the ginger
pasteurized.
plant and juice it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Strong.
This is great.
Okay.
I love this.
You
Yeah.
love it,
It's
huh?
like these health
This
shots.
is healthy. Yeah,
It's like the
we do
ginger
like these
shots.
health ginger shots.
It literally tastes just like it, and it hits your
Except
throat
you
just
guys
like
are drinking it
too.
nonstop. You got a whole glass of ginger right here,
I
bro.
lived on 120.
For real.
Try that. Give a taste of that.
Oh, you're getting the whole experience here at Hilltop.
Sorry?
Ooh, that tastes great.
Yeah?
That's really nice.
How's it taste in relation to ginger? Ginger beer?
Very different. This hits strong, but this is very
And-
smooth.
Right.
And what is this? Like, what's in
A
it?
plant, a red plant you see by the side of the road. Maybe you could point it out. If
Yeah.
you see them,
And
people
what's it
gather
called?
it.
Sorrel.
Sorrel?
Sorrel. Sowrel.
All right, let's
This is
try.
my first time tasting this fruit.
And then we've got passion fruit somewhere around
Oh
here.
man,
I like it, but I won't even know what it is. Like,
A plant.
I never had a taste like it though.
it's like a cherry, but not. I don't know.
A flower,
cherry-
A flower more than a plant.
Like a cherry lavender. If I had to make, I don't even know. Never had anything like this in my life.
So far, I've
But
been
it
loving
is
every drink
good.
here in Montserrat.
It is
Let's
good.
see if we can hit 3 out of 3.
Yeah, come on.
Keep it coming.
I can tell people like this. It's almost empty.
Yeah,
Right.
this is a delicacy
But
right
like this,
there.
with a bit of flavour in it,
Yeah.
a bit of rum in it, and then you're talking.
Yeah, people like their. That's passion fruit, you said?
This is passion fruit.
Oh, very passionate people drink that.
So there you go.
Makes sense.
Let me read this out.
Thank you, bro.
Well, I've had passion fruit before. They make passion
You
fruit
have?
boba.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love passion fruit. This is great.
Alright. I can tell that's the least favourite one of the 3.
Let me see.
No, this is really good. I love this
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Oh, I
They're
could.
all good.
Oh, passion. I hate passion fruit all the time. So, all right.
But it's like pure juice. So it tastes really nice.
It's crazy though, because the passion fruit is like, yeah, it's what you said. It's legit. It's natural,
Right.
like pure. Better than any passion fruit I've had anywhere else. So for me, number one. These are great drinks, especially after what we did.
This is Lookout, and this was developed since like 1997. And for those that lost many things in the South that didn't go to the UK, you could rent towards ownership. We have a community center here that do Meals on Wheels here, assisted living, new Roman Catholic church to my right, daycare center, primary school, and residential. And this whole area is quite the spot. Not prime property originally, but it's what was available for the government to use. And the European Union put a little money into it as well.
So after the 1907 disaster, they're like, okay, for those who don't leave, let's build this whole makeshift kind of village community for those who...
Well, this is one of a few different, like there's 3 major facilities, areas that were built up. But this was just wilderness. There was nothing here beforehand. And now...
But they did this because the disaster.
Yeah, this was created for those that needed a home again. But it has its own rugged beauty to it down here. And this probably would not have been developed had the volcano not started.
And they needed a place, you know what I mean? And this was it. But look, I mean, come on. It's, yeah. Seaview Road. Again, we are at the Lookout area, and it's what he just said. If it wasn't for the volcano eruption that happened, this whole place would just be empty still. But again, the government and everyone put their money together, would help with other countries to form this to help those who needed homes still. Wow. And look at down there. It's a secret beach. And one of the things about Montserrat is, again, it's not commercialized. So you get these amazing beaches, and there's no people here. There's no people ever on this island. So how did Montserrat get named?
Good old Chris, you know that guy?
Christopher Columbus.
That dude, yeah.
The guy who sailed the ocean blue.
That's right, but he did it in his second voyage in 1493. And he named it Montserrat, Serrated Mountains and all. But sometimes postcards even, like Christmas cards will go to Montserrat, Spain before it comes here.
Oh.
So a lot of people think, oh, you're going to Spain, right? Yeah. But Aliogana means land of the prickly bush. We have a literary festival named after it. So remember that we have a proper name for the island that's not what Christopher gave us. It already had a name.
This is all new land from when the earthquake spewed all that magma, dripped all the way down and made all this extra land.
You see some steam venting, and you see a whole piece of mountain missing. You see that on the right?
Yeah, where the steam is, right?
Right.
I could barely see that.
And that entire mountain we're trying to look at on the right did not exist.
That's insane. Now, what's the story on the 19 people who died here?
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, and of course, there's tributes to them every year. June 25th comes around. Yes, in 97, on that date, people on the other side of this ridge, near farms and barrels, and there's entire villages between here, Trans, Bethel, Spanish Point, Long Ground that's completely covered, but between that area and Plymouth were areas of agriculture and farming on the other side of this ridge.
Okay.
And they would have been very quick. And that's the only good thing I can think of, that's that they hopefully didn't suffer. But that number was raised a bit higher than 19, but that was the initial number. Farmers that resisted authority and went into areas that probably shouldn't have been. But there was a newfound respect for the scientists after that date, of June 25th, 97.
I'm like one of those guys who would have been like that. Like I would have been the one that would have been like, who cares? Let's just keep doing our thing. So I would have died. I would have died. That would have been me. It's weird because like I always feel like, we can go up there and if an eruption happens, we're just gonna outrun it and get out. But that's not the case. I don't think it's not gonna happen like that. Well, all right, explorers, we are back at the crash pad. We are saying goodbye to Sunny. Sunny, it's been a pleasure today. I gotta say, like, for anyone else who wants to do this tour, where can they do this tour?
Right, you can find us on MontserratIslandTours.com, and it's as simple as that.
All right, and make sure you obviously, it's just Sunny, so go hit it. You're good. You're in safe hands. You'll be able to explore and do what we did. It was a great time, and it was all day experience. Honestly, it was great. It was worth it. So check out his stuff. Thanks again, bro. Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
That's awesome.
We have a lot more to do. We're gonna keep it rolling. I am so tired. I'm sunburned on my neck. I don't know if you can see. Other than that, I handled the first day here at Montserrat. Beautiful place. I had such a good time, but we still have a lot more to do. In the next episode, which is next week, because we upload once a week, we are going to go into Richmond and explore all the abandoned mansions or whatever's left there. And it's going to bring us to the beautiful beach, and we'll see what goes on from there. We're also going to the Volcano Observatory to meet a scientist who watches over the whole volcano. Pretty much the people that were in contact with the walkie-talkie are the people we're going to be interviewing and talking to about the whole island and learning about the volcano. So this is going to be a very big video coming up. We have no guide, so who knows what we're going to see and find inside some of these places and buildings.